Overridings are in the overriding methods names and argument must be matched. In overloading what we see methods name matched but argument must be different, but in overriding method name match and argument also must be matched. The meaning of it signature must be matched. Why we require the overriding? If we not satisfied with the parent implementation, we can override in the child. So in overriding, return type must be matched, but this rule is applicable until 1.4 version. This return type is must be matched. Rule is applicable only until 1.4 version. From 1.5 onwards, covariant return type are also allowed. So covariant means according to this child method return type need not to be same as parent return type. It's a child class also allowed. So here we can understand there is a class parent. It contain one method M1. So guys, what is the return type of this M1? What is the return type for this M1? Object. Okay. So in the child we extend and we override this M1. So here we are taking here a string. So string is the object of string is the child of this object class. Okay. So this is concept is called the covariant. Okay. So in the covariant, what we can do, we can take parents, methods, return types, child return type we can take. So like if it is a object, so we can take a string. If it is number, I mean parent methods return type is number, so we can take it integer, but we cannot do the opposite. Okay, so I mean strings is a parent and objects we cannot make. Child we cannot make as object type. Okay, but these rules are applicable only for object type, not for the primitive types. Remember. So covariant return type concept is applicable only for object but not for primitive. We cannot override parent class final method. Okay, we are making method as final. So we can see this by example. This we can see by the example. Here is the parent class, okay, and this parent class contain the object type, okay. This contain object, and here is the child class. Okay, so this is the child class. So here we can take as a string. Okay, we can take as a string. Parent method return type is object. Child class method return type where we are overriding it. Either we can take it object, then also it will work, or we can take as a string, then also it will work. That was the rule for covariant, but if you are making parent as string and child as object, we cannot do that. Okay, this we cannot do. We will get compile time error. Okay, so this rule is applicable for a return type. So first, what we will check method name and number of arguments. Second, we check a return type. So return type either we can keep it same, or we can keep it covariant. Okay, so in the child we can take parent methods return types, child return type we can take. That is concept of covariant. So we cannot override a final method. Let me make the parent class method as final. Okay, when I'm going to save it, look at this. Can't override final method from the parent. Okay. Private methods are not visible in child class, hence overriding concept is not applicable for the private. Okay. So if I'm making this method as parent method as private, okay, method as private, that also I cannot do. Okay, that also I cannot do. But I can make child class also as private, but this concept is not okay. Private void. This compiles fine. Let me see. It is not compiling also now. Let me make it void. Remove this. Private method we cannot override. The problem is we have taken here override keyword. Okay. Okay. So even though it is looking like we are overriding it, you know? So this is not overriding. So this is a separate method of child class. We will use here this now. So this will throw the error. Okay, guys. So private and final method we cannot override. For the parent class abstract method, we should override in child to provide the implementation. Okay. How? Let me create one abstract method. I'm not giving the body here. Okay. I'm not giving the body here. Just I'm putting this and removing here private. I'm making here public. Public void m1. Public void m1. I have to make this class as abstract. Okay. I have to make this class as abstract. Now in the child what I can do, I can override this. Okay. So parent abstract method I can override in the child. Okay, parent abstract method I can override in the child. So that I can do. We can override parent class non-abstract method as abstract in the child to stop the class method implementation available to the child. Okay. If we have given one method's body here, so let me give this method's body okay. Let me remove these keywords from here. Now what I can do, I can make this method as abstract also. I can make this method as abstract also. What I need to do, I have to use here abstract keyword and class also I need to make as abstract. So what we are doing, parent a method which contain the body, child में इसकी body हमने क्या कर दी, stop कर दी. To making stop the body of implementation, we can make child method as abstract. We can override parent class non-abstract method as abstract. So this was the non-abstract. Look at guys, this was the non-abstract, and we have make it abstract in the child. So this we can do. Okay. Okay, like this we can do. The following modifiers can't play any restriction in the overriding: native, synchronized, strict FP. Okay. So while overriding, we can't decrease the scope of modifier. We can increase the following are the various acceptable overriding. For example, if we are making the public as parent method, so in the child also we need to make it public. Okay. We cannot decrease the visibility. Either we can keep it same or we'll increase. So public is the highest. If we are making parent class as protected, so in the child what we can take? Either we can keep it protected or we can take it public. We can see. So here I'm making this class as object. Okay. Let me return. And in the child also I'm doing this. Let me put here return type, return some null. Public string M1 would happen. Wait. I need to give the body here. Child, let me use here return type. Not in this. Okay. So this point we need to verify. If I'm taking this as public, so in the child also I need to make it public. Okay. And if I'm making this as protected, okay, in the child either I can okay, so in the child either I can take protected, I can take it protected, or I can make it public. So visibility I can increase, I cannot decrease. Okay, public, I can make it public. If I'm making, if I'm not putting anything, then what will come here? Default. So default is a low visibility compared to protected and public, so we cannot make it default. Okay, remember this. Then if we are making the parent as default, अगर parent का method हमने कुछ भी नहीं लगाया, then this would consider as default. So when we are making is default, so इसकी जो visibility है, that we cannot decrease. No. So we do have multiple options. We can make it default, or we can make it public, or we can make it protected. We can make it protected. Okay. But we cannot decrease the visibility. Either we can increase or we can keep it same. See, if it is public, we can keep it public. If it is protected, we can take it child, we can take it protected either we can take it public. If it is default, then we can take it default, protected, public. Private method we cannot override. Okay, so remember this. This rule is applicable while implementing interface methods also. Whenever we are implementing any interface method, compulsory it should declare as public, because every method, interface method, is public by default. Okay, the example is here. M1 is method. The class test implement this M1, so we have to make this method as public. Okay, if we declare public, we can't get any compile time error. Okay, by default it is public whether we are declaring or not. So same rule is applicable. This rule is applicable for the interface also. Okay, If the child class method throws some checked exception, this is quite important point here. If the child class method throws some checked exception, then compulsory parent class method should throw same checked exception or its parent. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. Okay. So, for example, public void M1, it is not throwing anything, but in child we are throwing exception. So this we cannot do. Okay. So if parent is throwing exception, and in the child if it is not throwing, then also it will work. I think ये एक बच्चे को अभी इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चन भी पूछा था. If parent is throwing some checked exception, is child also should throw some checked exception? The answer is no. It's not required. We can see by using this. Is Mukesh in this class? No, I think he is in our next batch. So recently he faced one of question. The parent is throwing some IU exception. Let me try to do that. Parent throws IU exception. Okay. Is it mandatory child should throw some exception? The answer is no. No, it's working fine. Let me try to run it. Child parent P is equal to new child. Okay. P dot M1 I'm going to call this is going to, let me see what the problem here. So I need to, at the time of calling, I need to handle the exception. So exception handling करने के दो तरीके. Okay, either we can throws means we are not handling, just we are delegating our responsibility to caller, or we can use this in try catch. So this is exception handling chapter, we will talk about in the detail. So this M1 is throwing some exception because it is coming from the parent. ये parent से क्या कर रहा है, कोई IO exception throw कर रहा है, okay, from the child. But in child we do not need to throw here. But at the time of calling, या तो हम इसको try catch में लिखें, how we can surround this in try catch. कोई risky code है, some kind of exception it is going to throw, तो इसको try catch block में लिखते हैं हम लोग, okay. We will write this in a try catch block. Try catch block we can write here. Exception A, and here we can handle. If we are aware, we can mention the name of the exception. The name of the exception is IO exception. Okay. IO exception we can take, and here I can take IOE, and let me put here this object of IOE dot print stack trace I can use here. एक तरीका तो ये है कि आप उसको ट्राई कैच ब्लॉक में लिख सकते हो. थ्रू द ट्राई कैच ट्राई ब्लॉक के अंदर हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, वी कैन राइट द रिस्की कोड. इन कैच ब्लॉक वी कैन राइट द हैंडलिंग कोड. ओके, इन द कैच ब्लॉक वी कैन राइट द हैंडलिंग कोड. दिस इज वन ऑफ वे. अगर हम ट्राई कैच नहीं लगा रहे हैं, इफ वी आर नॉट यूजिंग द ट्राई कैच, व्हाट एल्स वी कैन डू, हम यहाँ से इसको थ्रोज करा सकते हैं. THROWS IO एक्सेप्शन. तो दो तरीके हैं एक्सेप्शन हैंडल करने के. आई मीन हियर वी आर नॉट हैंडलिंग इट, यू नो, वी आर जस्ट थ्रोइंग. तो एक्सेप्शन बेसिकली होती क्या है? एक्सेप्शन इज नथिंग, इट विल terminate your program if any exception is coming. So abnormally it is going to terminate your flow of program. So what we want, कि हमारा जो फ्लो ऑफ प्रोग्राम है वो स्मूथली कंप्लीट हो, तो आइदर वी नीड टू राइट दैट कोड इन अ ट्राई ब्लॉक. अगर हम उसमें नहीं लिख रहे हैं तो सिंपली वी कैन थ्रो इट. ओके, सो कंपाइलर विल टेक केयर अबाउट इट. सो व्हाट वी गॉट हियर कि पेरेंट अगर कोई एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहा है, इफ पेरेंट इज थ्रोइंग एक्सेप्शन, तो ये जरूरी नहीं है कि चाइल्ड भी कोई चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन थ्रो करेगा. ओके, दिस इज नॉट मैंडेटरी. बट अगर पेरेंट थ्रो कर रहा है तो चाइल्ड से भी हम लोग थ्रो करा सकते हैं. THRO थ्रो IO एक्सेप्शन, तो यहाँ से भी हम लोग इसको थ्रो करा सकते हैं. ओके, बट लेट्स वी कैन वेरीफाई दिस पॉइंट. They are saying if child method throws some checked exception, then compulsory parent method also should throw. अगर इसका उल्टा करते हैं कि पेरेंट से एक्सेप्शन हटा देते हैं और चाइल्ड इज थ्रोइंग ओनली चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. ओके, चाइल्ड इज थ्रोइंग एनी checked exception, तो दिस विल गिव दी कंपाइल टाइम एरर. ओके, पेरेंट को भी थ्रो करना चाहिए. ओके, अब पेरेंट क्या थ्रो कर सकता है? आइदर वो सेम थ्रो कर सकता है, इट कैन थ्रो द सेम एक्सेप्शन व्हिच इज थ्रोइंग द चाइल्ड, या फिर हम क्या कर सकते हैं, इसकी कोई पेरेंट क्लास होगी, कौन सी है, एक्सेप्शन, तो हम यहाँ से सेम थ्रो करा सकते हैं, या फिर हम यहाँ से सॉरी गाइस इसकी कोई पेरेंट थ्रो करा सकते हैं. ओके, ये सबकी पेरेंट है, दिस इज पेरेंट फॉर ऑल. तो या तो यहाँ से हम क्या कर सकते हैं, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट ओ, you can first parent from here. What happened, why it's giving the error? Okay, from here we need to use kind of exception. Okay, so this we can use here. Okay, तो कितना what rules we need to, यहाँ पे अगर हम rules बनाए तो overriding में क्या क्या rules हैं, what are the rules which we need to follow, what are the rules which we need to follow. Okay, पहला रूल क्या है, फर्स्ट रूल क्या है गाइस, मेथड नेम सेम and its argument also should be same. ओके, पहला रूल हमें क्या समझ पड़ा, मेथड का नाम क्या होना चाहिए गाइस, मेथड का नाम क्या होना चाहिए,
सेम
सेम होना
एंड इट्स आर्गुमेंट आल्सो मस्ट बी
सेम.
सेम. ये पहला रूल है फॉर ओवरराइडिंग. ओके, एंड सेकंड रूल क्या है गाइस, व्हाट द सेकंड रूल, सेकंड रूल क्या है,
रिटर्न टाइप सेम या फिर कोवेरिएंट इज अलाउड.
रिटर्न टाइप. ओके, रिटर्न टाइप either we can keep it same or from 1.5 version we can take as covariant. Right, so we need to understand the meaning of covariant. जैसे ही आप covariant word use करोगे, interviewer is very much curious to know about what is the meaning of this covariant. So covariant में either what we can do, I mean in the child, in the parent we can take it the parent return type, but in the child we can take parent return types, child we can take. Okay, and the third rule, visibility. Guys, visibility what we can take, in the visibility what we can take guys, visibility में हमने क्या देखा था, what we see in visibility guys, visibility, in the visibility while overriding we can't decrease the scope of modifier. Okay, so scope we cannot decrease, scope we cannot not decrease, scope of modifier, scope of modifier we cannot decrease. Scope of modifier we cannot decrease. Okay. But fourth, what we need to keep in our mind. Fourth rule क्या है guys? What is the fourth rule? Overriding में fourth rule क्या है? Exception handling. If child class method throws some checked exception, then the parent class method should throw same checked exception or its parent. Okay. Okay. So rule here, if child method throws some checked, unchecked के लिए कोई rule नहीं है guys. Okay. For the checked we need to keep in our mind, if child method throws some checked exception, then parent also should throw either same checked exception or its parent. Okay, remember, in the overriding we have to remember these four rules guys. Okay, in the overriding we have to remember these four rules. Okay, so in overriding we need to remember four rules. Okay guys, but in overloading we have to remember three rules. Okay, method name same, argument must be different. Okay, and the second rule, if in the overloading more specific version will get the highest priority, and in method resolution child argument will get the more priority. So these are the three rules we need to keep for overloading, and four rules we need to keep for this overriding. So now I think we have seen with the practical also. Okay, all the rules we have verified with the practical as well. So now you can ask anything guys. Any question guys?
No sir, exception चाइल्ड में और सुपर दोनों में लगाना पड़ेगा, पेरेंट्स क्लास में और
एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग हमारा एक चैप्टर है जो आगे हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, उस समय इस पॉइंट को और डिस्कस करेंगे. अभी आप क्या ध्यान रख सकते हो इसमें कि अगर ये पहले तो ये रखना है, आपको ध्यान रखना कि ये रूल आपका चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन के लिए एप्लीकेबल है. ओके, चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन के लिए एप्लीकेबल है. तो क्वेश्चन कुछ ऐसे आ सकता है आपका कि अगर पेरेंट मेथड कोई एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहा है, कोई चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहा है, चाइल्ड को थ्रो करना चाहिए. व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड?
यस.
नहीं, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं. ठीक है, अगर पेरेंट कोई एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहा है तो चाइल्ड को थ्रो करना है, ऐसे कंपलसरी नहीं है. वी हैव सीन दिस रूल. पवन, आपने शायद ध्यान नहीं दिया. देखो यहाँ पे पहला ही पॉइंट क्या है कि पेरेंट ने कोई चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन थ्रो किया है, तो चाइल्ड थ्रो कर रहा है क्या? आंसर इज
नहीं कर, नो.
ओके, अगर चाइल्ड कोई चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहा है तो पेरेंट को क्या करना चाहिए? आइदर सेम एक्सेप्शन थ्रो करना चाहिए या फिर जो चाइल्ड थ्रो कर रहा है उसकी पेरेंट थ्रो करना चाहिए. दिस रूल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, तो दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर ओनली चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. चेक्ड क्या होती है? जिसको कंपाइलर चेक कर ले उस एक्सेप्शन को कॉल दी चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन, जो कंपाइल टाइम पे आ रही है. द एक्सेप्शन विच इज कमिंग एट रन टाइम, सो आई मीन वी आर नॉट बॉदरिंग अबाउट, है ना. रन टाइम के लिए कोई रूल नहीं है, बट फॉर compile time for checked exception there is a rule which we need to keep in our mind. तो 4 rules हो जाते हैं आपके. पहला रूल, मेथड नेम सेम, आर्गुमेंट मस्ट बी डिफरेंट. ओके. The second rule, I mean it's a return type, either we can keep it same or we can keep it covariant, so we have to explain the meaning of covariant. The third rule, access modifiers visibility we cannot decrease, either we can keep it same or we can increase in the child, we cannot decrease. But for rule to exception handling, what we can do for checked exception, if parent is if child is throwing some checked exception, parent also should throw either same or its parent. Remember this. So 4 rules are very very important for overriding. Let me know guys if you any other one has any doubt. No doubt, no question.
Sir, could you please share this program on group?
Program, did we do have for this checked exception? Okay, let me share this parent also. Okay, but we need, you need to verify all the point, not like this exception.
Yes.
आपको वन बाय वन सारे पॉइंट वेरीफाई करने होंगे. रूल 1, रूल 2, रूल 3, आई मीन वट एवर. तो यू कैन सी इसके अंदर कोई आर्गुमेंट नहीं है, तो चाइल्ड के मेथड के अंदर भी कोई आर्गुमेंट नहीं है. ओके, so let me share this program over the group. So one by one all points you guys you need to verify. Okay, all points you need to verify, either for exception handling or it can be for return type or it can be for visibility. Okay, remember this.
Sir, I don't have access to this group.
Let me add you.